What's going on, everyone? Hello. If you're in the chat, if you're watching this, let me get a 5x5. Oh, wait. Hey, what's going on, Coffee First Then Speak? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Robin Prater, I know you'll be back if you're not in here already. T.W. Perry, how you doing? Honey Badger, that's right. Honey Badger don't give up. That's right. So I'm sure it'll take a few moments for you guys to get back in here. Everybody's like, oh, well, in 3 o'clock, we're going to be on live. Bam. Terrorism doesn't happen when you fucking plan it. All right. Little lesson learned. All right. What's up, two-wheel prepper? I think you're the first one actually back in here. Oh, let's go. Let's go, Brandon. How we doing? I'll give it a few seconds to get some other people in here. Yeah, I know I was going to go at 3, but things don't always happen as we plan. All right. I mean, this whole video is about keeping yourself safe from terrorism. It's not going to happen on your time. It's going to happen on their time. All right. There's Chewbacca. There she is. Little furry Ewok looking mother. Still love you, brother. Okay, let's see who we got. Dude, I just had a natural gas explosion shake my house. Yeah, we have those once or twice a year. Something will go wrong. Normally, from experience, in the oil field, it's a water tanker that accidentally draws production condensate, liquid condensate, basically clear oil. It's highly volatile. And they draw it on accident. So anyway, we're going to keep this short. We're going to keep this sweet because this is information that you guys need to know. I'm sure some of you already know it, but everybody's talking about, well, Friday this and terrorism that and what's going on overseas right now. Don't worry about what's going on overseas. I'll do other videos about that here in a little bit. Actually, I'll throw a couple videos online that I want to do. But right now, we need to cover how, regardless of how you keep yourself safe. All right. I went down and jotted a bunch of things down based off of my experience and training that I've had over the past, 2 decades I spent in the military. Staying safe from terrorism. It's not up to the officials. It's not up to the government. Federal, state, county, whatever, to keep you safe. It's up to you to keep you safe. So when you're in public, if you can, stay armed. That's number one. All right. Stay armed when and where you can. Now, I understand there are going to be places where you go that you can't. All right. There are going to be places that you go throughout your day where you're not allowed. Somebody's prohibiting you. One, if it's someplace like a court building, someplace where they use metal detectors, I get it. All right. Leave your shit in the truck, in the car, wherever, but keep it close at hand. All right. If it's someplace that simply doesn't allow you because they don't like it, fuck them, conceal it. What are they going to do? They don't know you have it. All right. And if somebody comes rolling in that does have one that intends ill will towards you or others in that facility, you have a means to defend yourself, okay? And no one's going to ask questions about you killed the bad guy after the fact or you were the lone survivor after the fact, all right? Keep yourself armed as much as possible. 2, situational awareness, all right? Keep yourself aware of what's going on around you. Who is around you? Who's coming into places where you are already at, all right? It's simple. These things. Take your face out of these for a few minutes. All right. Look around. Oh, do I see anything that I perceive could be a threat to me or my family? All right. And I'll hop in the chat here in a few minutes, but I want to cover this stuff. Restaurants. All right. Restaurants. Pay attention to the exits. Where are the exits when you go into a restaurant? Now, most people will be like, oh, well, that's common sense. Well, it's not, because most people come and leave from a restaurant the same way they go in every time. Now, being aware of the emergency exits is good. Why? Because, not because you're going to go that way. Don't go for the emergency exits. If somebody walked into an Olive Garden, a Texas Roadhouse, and just started opening fire, you don't want to head for the emergency exits. All right. Here's why. Everybody's going to be heading for them. All right. The crowd will go that way. Your job is to stay alive. And you don't stay alive by being a sheep. Sheep go to slaughterhouses willingly. All right. If the shooter is not acting alone, which in many cases when it's organized, they're not, then they could very well have somebody on the outside waiting for people, hey, you cover that exit door, you cover that emergency exit door, because that's where they want to come. You head for the kitchen. There's always an egress point in the kitchen, at the back of the kitchen, that heads towards the dumpster area usually, all right? Because they don't want to be wheeling out big barrels of trash through the middle where everybody's eating. That's the way you want to head, all right? And when you head out there, don't immediately just start heading for your car. Again, there could be guys on the sides of the building. There could be somebody out back too. You never know. But the safest scenario is heading out through the service entrance near wherever the dumpster area would be. All right. And then you seek cover, not concealment. Cover protects you from bullets. Concealment hides you from view. All right. Don't run out into the parking lot because they'll just turn around and pick you off in the back. All right. Hide behind the dumpster. Whatever, hide behind the brick walls that most dumpsters are in, those little concrete alcoves. Get behind those. I would rather smell like garbage, like a dumpster, and be the lone survivor with my children, me and my kids, than be either dead or going to funerals for my kids. That's just my personal preference. Sit in the back or the area of the restaurant in most proximity to where the waitresses and waiters come in and out, where the staff comes in and out. All right. Because if somebody walks into a restaurant and starts popping caps, they're normally going to do it at the front or at the center. All right. They're just going to start blasting. You want to put as little distance between you and egress as possible. Okay. Plus, you have now all those other people that are between the shooter and you. So yes, bodies slow down bullets. It happened. It does. Bullet might go through 1, 2, 3. But, if there's 6 people in front of you, you're probably good. Oh, let's see. Concert venues. That's a big one, especially in this country. For some reason, you guys love going to concerts. It's not my thing, but there's a lot of potential for mass casualties at a concert. All right. If I was a bad guy, that'd be a good venue to get if I wanted to just cause carnage. All right. Concert. We saw it out in Vegas a few years ago. Somebody caused carnage. I don't care about who, what, why, where, when, and how. We're just saying good place to cause carnage. At a concert, note where the exits are. All right. Again, you do not, I repeat, you do not want to head for emergency exits. Why? Yeah, sheep, cattle, all go towards them. All right. So if you notice where they're at, and they're normally on the sides of venues. All right. You have the stage, you have your sides, your main access point at the front, normally at most venues. All right. You want to try to either be at the sides near the front, either side, or somewhere around along the front row by the stage. Why? Again, you're putting more bodies between you and the bad guys, because the bad guys are going to be coming in there unless they're literally dropping in via parachutes, which you never know, paragliders and shit. Then you've got more meat between the grinder and yourself. Okay. And when people panic, and they will panic, they're going to head for those emergency exits to the sides. That's not where you go. You go under, over, or around that stage. Most stages, they have a small fence, maybe chest high at tops. All right. You can, if you had a young kid, 12, 13 with you at the concert for some reason, you could easily chuck your kid over that. You could chuck your old lady over that. You should be in enough physical shape where you could get over that barrier. And trust me, all those security guards that are there for the concert aren't worried about you when shit starts popping off. So you want to head as fast as you can away and not with the crowds. All right. And as you're moving, you want to move from cover to cover. All right. If you can find something solid to put between you And whoever, that's what you want to do. And then quickly glance around from the next cover. Move. Short burst. I'm up. He sees me. I'm down. All right. My veterans will know what I mean by that. In the military, for you people who have never been in the military, they train us when we're laying on the ground in a combat zone, on a battlefield. You get up. You run. I'm up. He sees me. I'm down before he can shoot me. I get back down behind cover. All right. That's what when you see or hear someone say, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. That's what they're talking about. All right. Roads and intersections. All right. This is where, you guys typically you see in the movies or in real life. Mossad is famous for Israeli intelligence. They're famous for assassinating Iranian nuclear specialists and shit like that on roads, pulling up sides, slapping a bomb to the side, coming up, machine gun them. So they've pretty much perfected that technique. Roads and intersections. Always, when you're driving, one, pay attention to what's going on outside your vehicle. Again, this will get you killed. This gets people killed every day just driving and looking at these, let alone you add gunfire or explosives or something, anything. Someone with a bat, whatever. If you're pinned in on a road or an intersection, you're a sitting duck. Always leave enough space. You know your vehicle. You should know your turning radius. Leave enough room between you and the vehicle in front of you to where your vehicle can turn without hitting the other vehicle and get the hell out of there, right? Or if you're a little too close, fine, you smash your bumper up, you buy a new bumper. New bumpers are cheaper than new organs, all right? So there's that. Always leave an exit point. If you're on a 2-lane road going this way, 2-lane going this way, I usually try to stick to the inside on a city, okay? Because you can drive on sidewalks. Don't let your mind become your trap. Don't become what you're used to and what you're allowed to do become your trap. I have driven, not in this country. Well, I want to admit it. Yes, I want to admit it in this country, but I've driven on the wrong side of roads. I've driven on sidewalks. I've driven literally over roundabouts overseas. Okay. Like, the roundabout in the middle of a road and it's grass on top, not the one with the big stones in, but just grass on top. We rolled right over one of them one time. A long time ago, long story, not for YouTube. So always remember your auxiliary, your emergency routes. If you're on the inside, you can, if there's nobody on any other way, oncoming traffic, you can drive on the wrong side of the road. But if you're in traffic in a city, the only place that you're guaranteed to have a way out is most of the time is your far right lane. Because if it's 4 lanes or even 2 lanes and there's traffic beside you to your left, it's hard to get through another vehicle. But you can pop a mailbox off its foundation. You can drive around planters. You can run over parking meters. You can run over people if you have to, if they're hostile or if you're in a panic. I mean, sorry you didn't get out the way in time, but I'm going. I was once, short story, I was once almost surrounded by pro Bin Laden a crowd. All right. This is overseas. And my navigator was like, man, what if they start surrounding the whole vehicle? They were just on the right and a little bit into the road. And I said, well, if they step in front of this vehicle, I said, all you're going to do is see spitting ass and flip-flops flying over the hood. Front them down. Don't worry about that. You want to stay alive. All right. Remember, sidewalks, you can drive on them. Plazas, you can drive through them. Malls, if you were right next to a mall and something pops off in the parking lot, you can drive through the mall. All right. You could literally right through the glass doors and chuck on through and out the other side of a mall. But most people don't think like they see a barrier. You have to assess, will this vehicle be able to go through that barrier and continue functioning long enough to get me off the X. The X is where you die. Okay, you want to get off that X. Off-road. Off-road doesn't mean just, up in the woods. All right. You've got these highways, with the fences along the shoulders of highways. All right. There are breaks in those fences sometimes. They're normally where a hill's coming up or something like that. I have driven off the road and up and around those fences to get onto a secondary road before. Okay. It works. All right. Now, four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive vehicle, that's what you should probably have for doing that. I think everybody needs four-wheel drive, but all-wheel drive, there you go. That will work too. Railroads, railroad tracks. I'm not saying ride on railroad tracks when you see a damn train coming, but it'll be a bumpy ride. It'll be a bumpy ride, but you can absolutely run down beside or on railroad tracks if you absolutely had to. It's going to be bumpy as shit, but it's getting you off the X, okay? Avoid, when you're traveling, and we all hate traffic, avoid, especially tomorrow, all right, and in the days to come, weeks to come, avoid heavy congested areas. All right. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Actually, it's actually pretty easy. It just takes time. Now, most people don't want to sacrifice that time to keep themselves safe. The odds of it happening something like that, yes, it is. But if that time comes, I would rather have spent an extra 15 or 20 minutes going the long way around than not making it, okay? Or one of you guys not making it. Avoid those areas, and you know where they're at. Typically, every day at certain points of time where you live, there's a higher amount of traffic, and things just slow down. Those are choke points. All right, those are man-made choke points, where it's just the quantity of people creates a choke point via the lights, whatever. All right, now choke points. Additionally, we got tunnels, bridges, and anything else that restricts your ability to move in or out of an area. Example of a choke point people don't think about, and it's just a common mistake. Cinemas. Remember when the shooting happened, I believe in Colorado a long time ago. A cinema is a choke point. There are certain ways in, often one way in and one emergency exit. That creates a tunnel, a blockage of which way people can go and how many can move in and out of that area at one given time. All right. Tunnels are choke points. Everything slows down coming into tunnels. All right. Bridges, overpasses. Now, if you're in a tunnel, most man-made tunnels, I can't even think of any. So old train tunnels don't, but all newer tunnels in big cities and on highways, stuff like that, have emergency egress in the middle of them. Those doors, when you pay attention when you're driving, you'll see a door, right? A door, a phone. Those are emergency egress points. All right. So if some shit pops off in a tunnel, get the hell out of your vehicle, get out of it and use the egress points. Okay. Keep vehicles between you and an assailant. Bridges. Most bridges, go over water or are very high over concrete. Water, yes, you in theory could jump off of a bridge. Concrete underneath, if you're in a city and on a freeway or highway overpass, you don't. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You jump, you're going to end up crushed and broken and battered and probably dead anyway. The best thing to do on a bridge scenario is to one, identify, because you have situational awareness, situational understanding, where the threat is. All right. You're going to have other people that are stopped all over that bridge too. All right. Or even in a tunnel. You want to move away from the danger, common sense, but you'd be surprised how many people freeze. Move away from the danger, but keeping cover between you and the danger as often as possible. Now, there will be times when you have to make a mad dash to get to cover. You want to be exposed. Remember, I'm up, he sees me, I'm down. But if you are paying attention and you see the guy, somebody shooting over that way, that's your chance. make a move to that cover, get back down, reassess. You need to be constantly reassessing the situation as things unfold. And when things happen, they happen fast. People are like, oh, what's the military like? Boredom. It's hours, days, weeks, and months of boredom, and then minutes of sheer terror. It's the way it is. So I want to go through this list, make sure I covered everything. Yes, leave space side to sides when you're on roads, intersections. You can drive through sidewalks, plazas, the wrong side of road, buildings. Again, like driving through malls, off-road railroads, choke points. We talked about tunnels, bridges, anything else, including cinemas, restaurants. Reiterated the exits. You don't want to go to the emergency exits or the main exits. You always want to use that emergency auxiliary exit. All right. Everybody looks at the bright emergency sign. Go. You can even chunk a chair through a window if you had to. But again, might be somebody outside waiting for you. So remember, most people that come to do harm are coming to, especially in a terrorist mindset. They want the rich Westerner with the money. They don't care about the help. All right. They're not focusing on wiping out the help, the kitchen staff. Well, that pretty much covers it. Keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention and remember it. Things will happen unexpectedly, not when you plan them and not when you time them. They won't happen according to your schedule. They always happen according to your enemy's time frame. All right. Let me hop in the chat real quick here, see if anybody had anything they wanted to say. Oh, thanks, KY Survival. Frank Meadows Jr. says, I don't want to share the link on here if someone's trying to gather a bunch of patriots to a victory city and becoming a self-sustained community. Yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, you could always mention it in a chat thread or anything, or whatever. I don't care. As long as there's not profanity and stuff like that, then I don't care about what's in there. What's in the chat. Even though I try not to use profanity as much as I used to. I do sometimes, quite frequently, actually. Thanks for keeping it family friendly. I try Barnwood bowls. Barnwood bowls. All right, not bowels. Anyway, hey, I see some beaverines. Yes, Raven P. There's a lot of beaverines that come here. Yeah, John's a friend of mine. But I hope this helps someone. All right. And remember, things aren't always as they seem, especially now, especially right now. You're hearing a lot of people that are saying, "Oh, well, the news says this, and news says that." The same people, especially content creators. I'm not talking about John. I'm talking about other content creators. Are citing their news sources. Oh yeah, I saw this video or that thing on Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. When you can pull a dozen or more of their videos where they're literally bashing the same sources for not being credible. All right. It's amazing how when it fits their narrative, they're like, oh yeah, I'm getting my sources from here. Everybody wants to listen to Al Jazeera, because it's normally pretty credible and non-biased. But now everybody doesn't want you to listen to Al Jazeera because, oh, well, you might hear things that are counter to CNN and Fox News. So, it's go watch Al Jazeera. They are, everybody, depending on who it is that's talking at any given point in time, someone's going to be a little biased, regardless of what the topic is. But when it comes to all the mainstream media, they are the least likely to spin something. Okay. It's just been my experience. Ever since I literally watched Wolf Blitzer tell lies about who was securing an area in the Middle East when me and my guys were on the ground securing the area. All right. That's when I lost. I was like, it's full of shit. Those people aren't even here. We're here. But anyway, as John would say, I digress. All right. Thank you for being here. I hope this information let it soak in. Think about it. Think about what I said. All right. And remember, one final tip. I know some of you guys out there are old fashioned. You like your wheel guns, your 357s, stuff like that. You will need more than 6 rounds in a terrorist situation. You will need more than 1 magazine or even 2. So if you can carry 2, 3, or 4 magazines, have a box of magazines preloaded in your vehicle, whatever. You want to be able to send lead down range. All right. All right. Speed loaders and speed strip. Joe, honestly, if somebody's got a speed loader and they've got a 6-gun, your 357 with a speed loader, I'll take a Shadow Systems Glock clone with 18 rounds, and I'll just mow you down while you're trying to pull your speed loader out. Once you bam, 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 I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm just coming. I'm running and gunning at you. Oh wait, bow, 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 bow. I mean, it is what it is. Helps to be skunk drunk. All right. Well, y'all have a good day, good night, God bless, and I will be back later on this evening with either another video or another live stream. We will see. Talk to you later. God bless.